Hello, and we are marching along. We're up to chapter 13 in The Secret in the Old Attic by Carolyn Keene and Nancy Drew Mystery. There's our permissions that we need to show you. And let's go ahead and get started with chapter 13. Wow. An unexpected call, an unpleasant caller. The unexpected appearance of the music publisher at the March home surprised Nancy. She asked Bess and George if they wanted to continue working on the secret compartment in the cabinet or go downstairs with her. Maybe we can find some evidence against Mr. Jenner while you're talking with him, George suggested, tugging at the knob in the floor of the wardrobe. Nancy hurried down the stairs to meet the song publisher. She was sorry that Mr. March had gone to town and could not meet him. But perhaps it's just as well that he isn't here, she said. The poor man gets so excited thinking of his son's music having been stolen that he might say something to harm his own chances. Mr. Jenner proved to be an unpleasant-looking man with a brisk manner. I haven't much time to spend here, he said snappily. Are you Miss Nancy Drew? I am, the young girl said. Mr. Jenner did not waste words. He spoke of the letters of which she had sent to him. Although you didn't say anything definite, you hinted at an accusation. What do you know about Mr. Banks? Nancy began. Very little. Most of our contact has been through correspondence. What can you tell me about a composer named Harry Hall? Nancy asked. She had a hunch that he too published through Jenner. He's another one of my songwriters, very talented person. I've never met him. He always sends his work in by the mail. Can you vouch for his honesty? What is this, a quiz program? The publisher demanded, getting very red in the face. I'll admit I don't know much about either of these men, but their music is equal to the best that is being put out today. And for good reason, perhaps. What do you mean? Don't tell me you think somebody else actually wrote the songs. Maybe you should make sure that no one else did, Nancy said, before you publish it. Tell me who has been making such insinuations, the man snapped. I thought I'd give you an opportunity to explain what you know about the matter, Nancy replied. I have nothing to explain. I publish the music in good faith. I'm satisfied that the men with whom I deal with are composers of the songs that they submit to me. Are you prepared to prove it? Certainly I am, Mr. Jenner returned wrathfully. He glanced at his watch. I made a special trip here to see you. My valuable time has been wasted. You may not think so later. What are your reasons for believing that Banks and Hall may be plagiarists? I can't tell you at this moment, Nancy said. I do suggest you buy no more music from either of those men until the matter of the rightful composers has been straightened out. What is the name of the person you claim wrote the music? I can't tell you, she said. Well, it doesn't worry me in the least, the publisher said. Stupid of me to waste so much time coming here. Although Mr. Jenner left the house, within minutes, feelings of annoyance and contempt came from Nancy, but she drove them away. Has your caller left so soon? Bess questioned when Nancy returned to the attic. We haven't opened the secret compartment yet. When we do, I hope it will contain something I can use against Mr. Jenner, said Nancy, and relayed the man's remarks. Bess and George were mad. All I can say is he'd better look out, George said, her eyes blazing. Well, after all, I do need evidence, Nancy sighed. Come on, let's get at this compartment again. Nancy gave the knob a quick jerk sideways. A little door pulled up, revealing a little space below. It's open, she cried in delight. Let's hope that Mr. Phipps's songs are here. Excitedly, Nancy thrust her hand into the hole. Ooh, papers, she said. Quickly, she pulled out a handful. It was difficult to look at them by candlelight, so the girls took everything out of its hiding place and carried the contents to one of the bedrooms. Mr. March had returned and eagerly helped Nancy look through the mass of old letters. Bess and George began sorting out the other papers. Suddenly, Bess cried out, Here's a piece of original music. It says, by Phipp March, based on a melody composed by his grandmother. The group stared at the double sheet. Thieves didn't get this, thank goodness, the elderly man muttered. I'd like to hear it. Will you play it, Nancy? Everyone went downstairs to the music room. Nancy did her best she could on the old piano, while Bess and George hummed the melody. "It's lovely," Bess said. "It would be a hit if it were published," George declared. "My father knows a reputable music publisher," Nancy said. "Maybe he would buy it." "Take it home with you," Mr. March urged, "and send it to him." She had lunch with Mr. Drew and Hannah Gruen, then played the selection for them on her own piano. Both shared her enthusiasm for the lovely music and declared that it was equal to some of the best popular songs on the market that day. "I can't make rash promises, but I believe Mr. Hawkins will buy this song," Mr. Drew told his daughter. "I'll take the music to him this afternoon. He's a good friend and a client as well, and maybe we can get some excellent results." Satisfied that her father would do what he could for Mr. March, Nancy now told him of her plans to try capturing the intruder at Pleasant Hedges. "I'm sure he's getting in by some secret entrance, but I cannot locate it. So tonight we girls plan to watch for him if possible." "Promise me you'll all use the utmost caution," Mr. Drew said. "All right, Dad. And now tell me about your case. Has the chemical fluid I brought been analyzed yet?" Nancy asked. "Mr. Booker is having his chief chemist examine the solution and compare it with the preparations used in his own plant. So far, I've not received a report." "Oh, I wish they'd hurry," Nancy said. "If you want some action, why not see Mr. Dite again?" her father teased. "He probably was annoyed about the way you disappeared while on the factory grounds." Nancy made a grimace. "Do you think he found out I was in the lab? Mr. Dite is thorough in his methods. I shouldn't be surprised if he has called in several experts to take fingerprints and solve the riddle of the light you turned on in the laboratory." "Fingerprints!" Nancy gasped. "Why, I left them everywhere, in the lab, in the spidery, even in the tunnel." "Then I advise you to steer clear of Mr. Dite, unless for some reason you're looking for trouble." "That's just it," Nancy replied. Oops, I lost my page. Hold on, I gotta pause this. "That's just it. I'll have to go see him. Mr. Dite still has those valuable old bottles belonging to Mr. March. If I don't go back for them, he'll be doubly suspicious. He may even move his secret lab before you can prosecute." The more Nancy thought about interviewing Mr. Dite, the more she dreaded it. On second thought, though, she doubted that the man had looked for fingerprints. "Still, there's no telling what he found out," she said. Despite her concerns, late that afternoon Nancy drove to the factory grounds. With no outward display of nervousness, she greeted Miss Jones, the private secretary. "May I see Mr. Dite, please?" she requested. The secretary, formerly so friendly, gazed at the caller without smiling. "Yes, Mr. Dite very much wants to talk to you, Miss Drew," she replied with emphasis. And that is the end of chapter 13. Coming up next, chapter 14.